in love.
Oh my gosh.
So let's just say.
Really in love?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wait.
The internet loves two things more than anything else: a glow-up and a scandal. And right now, Tia Mowry is sitting right in the middle of both. Because what started as a few soft launch posts, some mysterious hand-holding photos, and a little "I'm in love" confession has now turned into full-blown chaos online. Not just dating rumors. Not just a younger man. Now people are whispering pregnancy. And not just pregnant. Twins. And somehow, right in the center of all of it, people have dragged Corey Hardrick right back into the conversation like that divorce paperwork never got signed. Because according to the internet, this isn't just Tia moving on. This is a complete life reset. A new man. A possible new baby. Maybe even a whole new version of herself. And for people watching from the outside, the real question isn't just whether Tia is happy. It's whether Corey was the one who got left behind. Because let's be honest, the second those pictures dropped of Tia smiling, glowing, holding hands, and kissing that younger guy like she had absolutely no intention of looking back, people didn't just react. They started investigating. Fast. The timeline got pulled apart. Old interviews resurfaced. Past comments hit differently. And suddenly, everyone started looking at this divorce like maybe we never had the full story. Especially because Corey had already told us how deeply that breakup hit him. He didn't sugarcoat it. He said for over a year and a half he was crying himself to sleep. Every night. Not in public. Not for sympathy. Quietly. Alone.
But once they get bigger, you kind of have everybody asking, so when you're going to have the next child?
He talked about how hard it is as a man, especially as a black man, because people expect strength, silence, toughness. Nobody checks for the tears. Nobody asks if you're okay. You're just supposed to survive it. But he admitted it. He said there were nights where it felt like nobody understood. Nobody was there. Just him, the pain, and the silence. That kind of honesty changed how people saw him. Because suddenly, Corey wasn't just the ex-husband. He became the man people felt sorry for. The one still grieving while everyone else moved on. So now, watching Tia outside looking happy, free, glowing, and possibly building an entirely new life. Yeah, people are looking at Corey like, was he really the one left holding all the emotional weight? But before we even get to Corey's side of this, we need to talk about how this whole thing started. Because this didn't come out of nowhere. Tia didn't just wake up one morning and hard launch a new relationship. She had been dropping clues. Quietly. Strategically. Little breadcrumbs. Nothing loud enough to confirm anything. But just enough to make people wonder. That's how celebrity soft launches work. You don't announce. You hint. You post your shoes next to someone else's shoes. You use captions people can decode. You let the internet do the detective work for you. And that's exactly what happened. There was that post. White Converse next to white Air Force Ones. Simple. Casual. But the caption? Talking about stopping to smell the roses? That was enough. At the time, people still thought maybe it was Corey. Maybe they were working things out. Maybe they were choosing privacy. Maybe divorce wasn't really the end. But now, looking back, people realized that wasn't Corey. That was somebody new. The whole time. And the way she kept him hidden? That wasn't confusion. That was strategy. Because the second his identity dropped, everything changed. Turns out the man Tia has been linked to is a 35-year-old artist named Javon Williams. And the moment his name hit the blogs, the internet did what it always does. It made the age gap the headline. Not Tia found love again. Not Tia is...
That's normal. I mean, do you tell your brother and your sister?
Happy. No. Suddenly it became, wait, how young is too young? And you already know how these conversations go. If a man dates younger, people barely blink. They call him successful. They call him lucky. They call him still got it. But when it's a woman, now suddenly everybody becomes a relationship expert. Now she's a cougar. Now people are questioning her choices. Now there's this invisible rule book she apparently broke. And Tia got dragged right into that conversation. Some people were side-eyeing hard. Others? They were cheering. Because to them this wasn't scandal. It was freedom. They were saying she's finally living. Finally choosing herself. Finally experiencing life outside of the one relationship that defined most of her adulthood. And that's where this story gets deeper. Because Tia herself has been saying things that make people question what this really is. On one hand, she described her marriage as a success. Not a failure. A success. She said it was like a curriculum. Something she learned from. Something she graduated from. That sounds like closure. That sounds peaceful. But then later, she admitted there were moments she thought about going back. Moments she questioned everything. Moments where the ending didn't feel so clean. And now, she's saying something completely different. She said she's in love. Not maybe. Not possibly. Not getting to know someone. No, in love. She said she manifested this. And that right there? That changed everything. Because now the internet isn't looking at this like a simple post-divorce rebound. Now it feels like a major life shift. Like she didn't just leave a marriage. She stepped into a life she never really got to have. And when you really look at her story, that actually makes sense. Because Tia didn't casually date Corey. She built her life around him. She met Corey Hardrick when she was young. Stayed with him for over 20 years. Built a family. Built a home. Built an identity. They had 2 children together. This wasn't just a relationship. This was her foundation. And then she said something that made people stop and really think. She revealed that she lost her virginity to Corey at 25. That changes everything. Because now Corey wasn't just her husband. He was her first real experience with love. With intimacy. With trust. With adult partnership. He wasn't just the man she married. He was the man she became a woman with. That's a different kind of bond. So when people see her stepping into this new energy now, it doesn't just look like moving on. It looks like discovery. Like maybe she's finally experiencing parts of herself she never had the space to explore. And maybe that's why this relationship feels so different. Because maybe it's not just about romance. Maybe it's about identity. Maybe it's about finally asking, who am I outside of who I was with him? And honestly, you can feel that shift. You can see it. The vibe is different. The confidence hits louder. The energy feels sharper. There was that video she posted vibing to Beyoncé's song, Deja Vu. Walking. Posing. Fully in her element. No hesitation. No apology. Just presence. And the caption? That's what really got people talking. She said something along the lines of, maybe I've always been this woman. That line right there? That was the real headline. Because now people started asking, is this the real Tia? Or is this a version of her that only came out after the marriage ended? Depending on who you ask, you'll get 2 very different answers. Some people say she's glowing. Others say she's overcompensating. Some say she found peace. Others say she's trying to prove something. Some say she's finally happy. Others say happiness that loud usually has something hiding underneath it. And that's when the comparison started. People brought up Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. They brought up Cher and her younger boyfriend. They brought up Madonna. Suddenly, Tia wasn't just in a relationship. She became part of a much bigger conversation. Women. Aging. Freedom. Double standards. Who gets judged? Who gets celebrated? And who gets punished for choosing themselves too late? But while the internet debates all of that, there's still one person everyone keeps circling back to. Corey. Because publicly, he's been calm, measured, focused, talking about co-parenting, talking about peace, talking about putting the kids first. He said something that really stuck. If you truly love your children, you stay out of the noise. You stay out of the mess. That sounds mature. That sounds solid. And on the surface, it is. But people aren't convinced it's that simple. Because let's be real. Imagine watching your ex, the person you spent decades building life with, suddenly step into a completely new version of themselves. Someone younger. A faster timeline. A new energy. Possibly even starting over with another family. That's not something most people just casually shrug off. Especially when kids are involved. Because now this isn't just emotional. It's structural. The children already had to adjust to the divorce. Now there's a new man. A new dynamic. A new reality. And we don't even know if Corey has fully met him yet. Now imagine if those pregnancy rumors are even halfway true. That changes everything. Because then the introduction isn't just awkward. It becomes permanent. It becomes family. And that's why people are watching this so closely. Because the timeline feels fast. The emotional shift feels heavy. And those wounds? They probably aren't as healed as social media makes them look. But through all of it, Tia keeps moving like none of it is slowing her down. Still posting. Still smiling. Still stepping into this next chapter like she has no intention of turning around. She said she's happy. But she also said she wants privacy. And that privacy? People are starting to notice cracks. Because even something as simple as her reality show raised eyebrows. When she was asked why her own sister, her twin, didn't know about the show beforehand, her answer felt strange to people. She brushed it off. Said it was normal. Asked, do you tell your siblings everything? And people immediately said, wait, that's not just your sibling. That's your twin. That answer didn't sit right. Because now people are wondering if Tia isn't just protecting peace. Maybe she's protecting distance. Maybe she's moving in a way where even the people closest to her are being kept outside the real story. And honestly, that only fuels more speculation. Because when celebrities say privacy, the internet hears there's more. So now everyone is divided. Some people are rooting for her. Others are side-eyeing everything. Some think she leveled up after divorce. Others think this is the honeymoon phase before reality hits. And right in the middle of all of it, Corey remains silent, but somehow still central to the story. Because silence says things too. So now the real question isn't just, did Tia move on? Did she finally find what she was missing? Or is this one of those situations that looks perfect on the outside, while the real story hasn't even started yet? And if those twin rumors turn out to be true, then everything changes. Because at that point, this isn't just dating. This isn't just healing. This isn't just a post-divorce glow-up. This becomes an entirely new life. Fast, public, impossible to ignore. And Corey? He won't just be watching from the sidelines anymore. He'll be part of a story he may not have chosen, but definitely won't be able to escape. So now I have to ask, did Tia Mowry really level up after the divorce? Or is this the kind of picture-perfect chapter that looks amazing online, while the truth behind it is still unfolding?